Justin, did Vic approach you about sitting out that last series and breaking your snap streak? And
The snap streak.
what does it feel like not to play?
Yeah. It felt good under the circumstances, We obviously had a pretty good lead with limited time left. And if there was any time, I'd guess like there was a time to miss it, it'd be that. And I'm kind of glad it's over, Now I don't have to talk about it anymore, and I don't have to be asked about it. And then more importantly, I feel like there's a little bit of individualism, if that's the right word for that sentence. But I feel like there's a little bit of that in terms of the streak, and so I'm glad it's over and we can focus a little bit more on the team.
Justin, all you talked about in the offseason as a defense about takeaways, and here you are, you've gotten them in the first 3 games. What does it mean to put so much into it over the course of the months and actually have that come to fruition as it has the last 3 games?
Yeah, it's a big emphasis. And in today's game, the way offenses are trending, you're going to have to find ways to get possessions for your offense, and especially our offense, running the ball really well, utilizing our receiving core in the play action game and getting the ball to those guys. And I think Teddy and the whole crew are just doing a really good job. And so defensively, man, we want to contribute to that. And obviously 3 and outs are huge, getting our offense right back on the field. But takeaways are such momentum shifters. And that's what we need to focus on and continue to focus on. Just because it's been happening in the first 3 weeks doesn't mean you found your formula and it's going to carry over for the rest of the year. You got to continually attack it. And that's going to be our mindset. We just got to keep stacking the weeks.
Justin, first shutout, I think, since 2019. How much of an emphasis is that on the sidelines? You guys had the game in hand, but are you guys talking about that like, hey, let's make sure we finish this out the right way?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it says a lot about your character. As a defense, like obviously there's a certain point where probability-wise, it's like the game's over, but as a defense, you go out there, and I said it, I think last week or maybe the week before, but, hey, let's prep for when, like this counts. Like, let's go out here. What if they need a field goal to win the game? Like that's the mindset, and that's what guys were preaching all on the sideline, and it's important. And, it's hard to get into that mindset, and that's why it's so important to think about, because when it actually matters, that's going to kick in, and that's going to win us some football games this year.
Last two, Brandon and Nick, please. Justin, with another week with our rookie QB that threw 4 picks last week, were you getting antsy a little bit that y'all didn't have any takeaways until it finally happened?
No, because we were playing pretty well. Kind of taking away the first option, and I thought for the most part, the tackling was pretty well. I talk about it all the time, communication in the back end, and with Justin being in there, I thought the communication was great. So, there's that fine line of you don't want to overreach in terms of going out of your job on the defense to make a big play, and then letting plays come to you, letting the game come to you. And so there's that balance that you got to find, like, hey, I'm gonna go make a play, and then also like want to work outside your job description on that certain defensive play. So but to answer your question, I don't think so. I thought we played really well for the most part, and some things will clean up, and like I said, the takeaways will come.
Justin, we're not in the locker room after games now, so I'm just curious, what is the vibe at 3-0? You take a second to appreciate this kind of month. Is it looking to the schedule ahead? How do you kind of what's the vibe after this start?
Yeah, it's I think it's like a yin and yang, just like balance it out. Obviously there's, and in years past it's been what it's been, and this year, obviously thankful for, and we put in the work for the start that we have right now. But that's why I think 1-0 is such like a good thing we got going on, and we're preaching, is because in the league you can never get too high, you can never get too low. The next week's coming up, and the good thing about it, at times is you win on a day like today, and then after you watch the film tomorrow, that game's over, and now it's on to, in our case now, the Ravens. And it doesn't matter what you did last week, you got a new game. And so that's the biggest thing for us, preaching, like, it's good to know where you're at, right? It's good to know what we have going, the momentum we have going, and at the same time, you don't get comfortable in that, thinking that it's just going to work out, you found a way to make it work. Like, no, we got to put in the work, and we got to make sure that that winning's contagious, keep this thing going. And that's what we're preaching, just 1-0, clean slate, new week. Let's keep this thing rolling. Thank you.